welcome to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
We're your hosts, Devin and Anita, and this is our weekly podcast where we grab a blanket and some snacks and talk about all things relationships, growing pains, and navigating through, honestly, life itself.
We hope our experiences encourage others to grow to become the best versions of themselves, and for their relationships. Grab a snack and let's go! What is up, snackers?
What's going on? What's good? Woo! What's going on with y'all boys? And welcome to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
Welcome back to the pod.
The most awesome podcast.
Okay.
The most excellent podcast.
Say it again.
And the greatest podcast
damn right.
in the world.
Woo!
Let's go.
Welcome back to the pod. You are
Turned up.
Yeah, you're switching it up today, huh?
Turned up. Shout out to the milk chocolate M&M's. Peanut is better, but
All right.
we're gonna rock with what we got.
So as y'all hear, we are wilding because if you are on YouTube, then you can already see this is a guest episode. So our friends are in town. If you are audio, you're about to find out who's in town. So guests of honor, please introduce yourselves.
The guys.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? You know, Ramon's in here. You know, finna have this conversation real quick.
Hey.
Hey guys. Just kidding. It's Jessica. I'm Romance's fiance.
Period. Love to see it. Woo. Honestly, this pod episode is long overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get them on the pod forever. So this is fun that we finally found time in all this wedding planning madness
Boy.
to make time
Chaotic.
to see each other.
Treacherous.
Literally. So we're so excited to have you guys on.
We appreciate y'all, you know, having us too.
Of course. So we're just gonna run it like a regular episode. As y'all see, again, if you're on YouTube, we ain't got no snacks, but
Yeah. And I don't really count this. Just kind of came across it.
you can't. Did you
Found
go
it
rummaging
somewhere.
for snacks?
No,
Where did you find that?
I went and got water, and then I seen that they had tea over there, so I was just checking out the tea.
Okay.
And I looked up, and I just saw candy. So
Yep.
Grab
just
it.
That'll do
grabbed me a couple pieces and was on my way.
We did
Dang.
that later.
Dang. Period. Jessica went and got us waters. I don't know if y'all see, but we got very fancy cups going on here.
Yeah, we need them at the house. You know what I'm saying? So
Fancy wine glasses. I'm here for it.
with the
So-
short neck, that's expensive. That's expensive.
It's giving Hendrix.
It's giving Hendrix. So yes, that's our snack. Sorry.
Yeah. Water.
Water. But also no late night slacking tonight because this is a guest episode, and as y'all know, we chat
Yeah.
for a long time on guest episodes, so we don't got time
Oh
for all
yeah,
that.
big time.
So we're gonna we can hop in a second, but where are y'all coming in town from? All that good stuff.
So we came from Anderson. We
Hey.
drove over here, a smooth 2.30.
30.
Ooh,
So it wasn't too bad.
that's good.
Sweet.
Cool.
I was passenger princess, so.
Period.
He said Black History Month.
It is Black History Month.
Yo.
Y'all,
You
let's-
dropped me
actually,
around.
I want to take a moment to address these two real quick.
Wow.
Hey, man,
That's
that's
a
Black
good one.
History Month, man.
Because
I ain't seeing no back either.
Oh.
it is indeed
Yo.
Black History Month.
You feel?
Our black men are wanting to be treated right.
Yep.
I'm here for it, but
You right.
Hey, shout out to all my melanated people.
Hey, man.
y'all are silly. Okay, so when we were chatting about like what kind of conversation we wanted to have and all that good stuff, we thought the best fitting one would be to talk about marriage and the process of it and how we all feel about it and stuff like that, because I don't know if y'all know, but we get married April 27th, and Ramon's and Jessica get married literally the weekend after on May 4th. Is that the Saturday? So if anybody knows like what we're going through, like these are the
Yeah.
two that understand it the most, because our timeline of everything is like the
So
same
close together.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so we wanted to talk with them because we're all kind of in the same boat right now. So figured it would be like a good conversation. So yeah, that's what we're chatting about today. Let's hop right into it. Firstly, obviously we are all engaged and our weddings are coming up in about 2 months. How are we feeling? Like, what is the overall feeling 2 months out right now?
Tired,
Yeah, period.
exhausted, broke,
Yeah. Both should have went first.
anxious,
Yeah.
Armand, how do you
ready.
feel?
Just ready,
Broken, tragic.
broken.
I'm broke and broken.
Torn into.
Nah, this wedding process is like exhausting. It is time consuming, and like, it is. You get to learn about like the reason why you're doing it at the same time too.
Yeah.
So you get like, once all the bad stuff get out of the way, then you get excited about the day. Like, yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So it's like from like trying to find out who to invite, who to not to invite,
Yeah.
the food, because me and her with the culture difference and with us wanting to do, the Mexican side and the Haitian side,
Right.
It's just like two completely different type of people, right?
Yeah.
And family structure also is like almost completely different type of family structure. So that part of it, then go into the, how much we really want to spend, because we don't want to
Yeah.
go crazy. There's other stuff that we have to plan after the wedding.
Right.
So, and things like that. It gets pretty overwhelming, but
Yeah.
it's still like a beautiful thing. Like, you get excited. That's like, then you like, yeah, I see why I'm doing it,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like, it's hard to not get caught up in like how much money we're spending, how much time we're putting
Yeah.
into this, how much, like we're not inviting certain people, like people's feelings
Yeah,
getting in the mix, stuff like that, like all of the logistics and stuff. Like, it's hard not to get caught up with that. But like, I like what you're saying, because it is true. Like, there is a reason why we are planning this day, and there's a reason we want to get married, and like that's what you have to hold on to during this whole process, because it's easy to
just forget.
get caught up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
Feel pretty good. I'll say I'm not necessarily nervous about getting married, but I'm excited as far as the wedding, because this is something that we kind of put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Collaboratively, and we get to see it like happen
Come
in real
together.
time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm excited about that, because we're gonna be turned up. It's gonna,
Period.
Say less.
it's gonna be lit. Like, so just being able to see like our imagination
Yeah.
like, come
Yeah.
to fruition. But as far as like getting married or whatever, I'm not really nervous. Hell, I mean, we've been living with each other like 3.5 years already.
It's just
Like,
it's about time at this point.
yeah, like,
Time
you know
to
what I mean? It just
get
makes
her
sense.
done.
So
Yeah, you're already doing things that married couples like do.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Which I definitely want to touch on that later, because I know the dynamics are a little bit different.
Different,
Yeah. So I want to
Yeah.
hit on that. But
but yeah, I'm turned up. I'm lit.
good.
I'm ready.
One thing that I did not expect, and we can kind of chat about things that maybe we didn't know about the engagement process and wedding process, was like how expensive everything is expensive. Like, there's not one cheap thing
No, for
in this
real.
process. Even if you're like DIYing stuff, like stuff is still expensive to buy, to put together. Like, oh my goodness, they are making bank off of engaged couples.
Absolutely.
Oh
And-
my God.
And you always hear like weddings are expensive. Weddings are expensive.
I know.
Like, but you never really think
Until
like
you do it,
it's not that
Until-
expensive.
oh.
Like, okay, maybe a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yes.
we're talking about like
No.
tens.
tens
Yes,
and thousands
yes.
of dollars. Like,
Minimum. Like,
did not see that
Yes.
coming.
Unless
Yeah.
you're trying to do something like extremely small to where like it's very intimate between you
Right.
and your partner, or just
Right.
straight up mom and dad and things like that.
Yeah.
You can go that route. But if you're planning on like actually doing a venue and having
Yeah.
food, you
Yep.
are going to spend, because like just getting your suits and things like that, unless you really don't, you really don't care about that aspect of it. But I mean, just a venue alone is going to cost you a couple $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Then that's not without like, you don't have the food yet.
Yeah.
You don't have like just trying to download or like print invitation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
bro, like, what?
Yes. I'm telling
Sheet
you.
of paper.
Yes.
Can I
And
just tell people
it's
when
the
they come?
Right.
Literally, at this point, we doing word of mouth. Everybody
Yeah, like,
telephone.
yo,
You're
yeah,
like,
hey,
yeah.
group message.
It's okay. Put everybody in. If you
Group
didn't make
chat,
the group,
yeah.
if you didn't make the chat, you ain't coming,
You ain't
and that's
coming.
what it is. But no, it's so like it's little things that you're not even thinking about. Like we had our like 3-month check-in or whatever with our coordinator, and she's asking all types of questions that me and Devin looking at each other like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Like, what time do you guys want to do this, and how should the plate look, and how
Yeah.
should I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, damn.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
just so
Like,
much. I feel
That's
like that's what
insane.
adds to the stress is like
Yeah.
the details of everything and like the price of everything. Like, ooh, I was not expecting.
I would
that.
say it's very tedious, and then
Yeah.
like it just seems like you having to throw out like large sums of money at the most random
No.
times,
Yeah.
or usually at the most worst time. Like,
Yeah. Car payment come out, gotta pay the venue. Like,
yeah, like it's just like
can't get it right.
it's
Which one is more important?
right.
it's chaotic, bro.
is.
It's crazy business, but you know, I think at the end
It's all gonna be worth it.
it'll be
man.
Yeah.
worth it. Exactly.
Yeah, that day. I know it's just, I guess the wedding day is just one day or the couple hours of that, but you're gonna be able to look back on that day. Let's
100%.
say like 20 years from now, when if you're still with your partner, you're just gonna be like, remember that day. That's things you can show your kids. And
Yep.
like, I know, it can seem like you're just spending money, but I feel like there's a more purpose to it. Coming from somebody that doesn't really necessarily care about anything like that, really.
Yeah.
So it's like parties and stuff like that. It's just then finding myself getting excited about just getting married and like finding myself trying to like, because people ask me, you're gonna cry, like, right? So when people that know me, they were like, yeah. I was like, nah. And then now I'm thinking about it. I was like, I started watching YouTube videos of people crying.
Yes, bro. Okay. That shit is
I
real.
was like, oh, wait, why is he crying right now? So I try to get myself prepared not to cry and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, even people at my job and stuff like that, I mean, these are people, I don't want to age them, but I mean, these are people that are like married with kids and like
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, they still are like, soak it all in because like that was the best day of my life. Like, and they've been married for like 20 something years. Like, they still say like that was the best day of my life. So like, I hear from everybody like it's worth it. It's worth it. Like,
Yeah.
just do what you need to do and like get to the day because the day is literally like the best day. So I'm like, okay, like I'm hearing good feedback from everybody.
Right.
I'm not seeing it now, but when we get there, it'll be the best day of our lives.
Right.
So-
Right. Because right now, like, I don't know, I kind of love the art of surprise. So I'm not really going into it with a lot
Like
of expectations.
yeah.
Just because, like, the day of, that's when I want to feel, like,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it's going to be, instead
Yeah.
of trying to, I guess, try to pre-predict, like,
What's
what
gonna
it'll be
What it's
like,
gonna feel
just
like.
kind of go into it and just head first.
Yeah. From like bride perspective, like how do you feel about the day? How do you feel about the process? Is there anything like you've learned about yourself during all this since y'all got engaged?
Well, I know originally I was like, I want to get married like at a destination wedding.
Yeah.
And then come back and like, surprise,
We're married.
we're married. But then I started thinking about it, like how many people get to walk down the aisle with like their parent,
Yeah.
or, like a loved one. Like not many people are like fortunate enough to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as much like as me and my dad like argue, like that is the one person like I do want to walk down the aisle with, and he,
Yeah.
hand me off to Ramons. And I think that's a moment that you can't really take away.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm really glad that I learned to like be appreciative of like that I learned that earlier
Yeah.
versus me already like eloped, like and
Yeah.
doing the wedding, destination wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say like it has kind of opened up like a whole can of worms of like, oh my gosh, I do have to prepare for this. I do have
Yeah.
to prepare for this. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this really mattered as much as it should have, meaning like the venue.
Yeah.
Because even like choosing the venue was like really tedious because if they didn't say, you can have a chef or something, or like food wise,
Right.
like there's not really many Mexican or Haitian DHEC certified
Mm-hmm.
people that serve food, and I was like,
In this area.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the area. So
Yeah.
I was very, very picky as far as that, and I didn't realize how picky I would get about stuff like that. Because at the minute they would be like, yeah, they have to be DHEC certified, I was like, yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out. I'm gonna act like I'm interested, but I'm not.
You
I
will
am
not be hearing from me.
You'll never see me again, bucko.
Literally.
Yeah, I was like, I'll think about it, and then I just turned away. So yeah, I didn't realize how tedious things were, and the money and everything.
I know. Yeah. I would say, like, being a bride is interesting. Like, it's not really what I expected. Like, I think for me, just I knew it was going to be, like, tedious, but like you're saying with the whole, like, making decisions and everything, like, not realizing how much is actually put on your plate that you have to, like, decide on things and, like, make choices, like, that's hard. Okay. Like when everybody's like, oh, what do you like? Oh, what do you like? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what needs to go together. I don't know what needs to be put together. And it's all like what the bride wants. And it's like, relax. Like, I can't handle all this. Like, everything's what you want. But I will say something that I've taken from it that I appreciate is like the camaraderie of people that are like around me, especially the women, like, showering me and like loving on me and like preparing me for this new chapter and stage is like unlike anything I've ever imagined. Like, I'm not one to like, I don't know, like let people love on me like that. Like, I like to be the person that's loving on the other person. So trying to like let that happen is like hard. Like, my personality doesn't like to allow that, like people doing things for me
you,
and like taking things off my plate. Like, I'm just very like, give it to me, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it alone. I don't really care. Like, so to have like people around me that are like, no, like, you wedding plan and do what you need to do, like, we'll handle XYZ. Like, I'm not used to that at all. So it's been nice being in this season of like, there's just supportive people around me that like support our relationships and support our love and stuff like that, and just want to like see us all happy. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah.
What about you guys as grooms? Like, what's it
Yeah,
like on
that's what I was about to say.
y'all's side?
I was gonna ask, like, was it easy for you to, I guess, find your role or find like your place in the process of like planning the wedding?
Like for me or for you?
For you?
Well, I guess for people that probably don't know, we all are part of each other's wedding. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I just
Actually,
wanted to
that's
put
a
that
very-
out there.
I was
That's a
really
very
thinking about
important-
that.
that's a very
we did
important
not
message.
even let these people
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah, we all
what
part
this
of each other's
What
relationship
this
wedding.
is.
So
Give 'em the
bookmark
rundown.
real quick. Bookmark. So I've known Ramon's literally since high school. So probably like 2011, give or take.
No, 2010.
2010. Okay, so 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
That is my evil twin for real. Like, if I ever need something mean done, like,
Oh my
I
god.
know he'll do
Oh,
it
tell
for
him,
me.
tell him what my job is at the wedding.
Oh, so I gave him a role.
Oh.
So for the family and friends who are watching, my phone will be off the day of. So
As
do
it
not
should.
call me asking me where do I park, where do I go. Just
Don't
I
do it.
don't want to see anybody before the wedding. Please do not come back there knocking on my door asking to see me. Like,
Not gonna happen.
no.
Dead.
He's gonna be the person who tells you these things. Because he already has no filter. He has no filter anyway. And plus, I know, like, if I had to get anybody else to do it out of my groomsmen, I know he'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, yeah, I need you to handle that, bro. I don't need nobody bothering me today.
And
I'm
it's
like,
no hard feelings either.
It's not. It's definitely
don't come
not.
up to me and ask me, oh, hey, let me take a picture of them. I'm gonna tell you,
Nah, he's not.
go away.
Right. Like, he's not seeing anybody right now.
Go away.
We're preparing. We're not. No
Don't
pictures
do it.
right now.
So like,
He said,
relax.
wait till after.
Yeah. Like,
No flash photography.
Yeah, no flash
Not
photography.
right now.
Yeah, so,
Paparazzi.
No paparazzi.
No paparazzi.
yeah, he's there to make sure I'm not stressed out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all, like, I'm a bridesmaid in Jessica's wedding. Jessica's a bridesmaid in my wedding. Devin's a groomsman.
Yeah, I'm a groomsman.
And Ramon's a groomsman.
Surprise.
So
Yeah.
we're like,
That's like a week apart too.
no, it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Literally.
like
we put that extra stress on ourselves for no reason.
for
We
no
did.
reason.
Like-
I gotta turn around,
We did
go
not
back
have
to
to do
work
that.
as if we didn't just get married,
Yeah.
and then right
Right
back
back.
at it the next weekend
Yo.
as if we weren't just at a wedding the
Exactly.
weekend before.
Bro,
And that's how we do it.
that's gonna be a chaotic week. Man.
Oh, it
That's-
sure is.
It's gonna be funny though.
And my birthday is literally like a few days after their wedding.
Yeah,
too,
bro.
so
It's
that
just a
whole
lot of.
Yeah.
that
Listen.
whole time is.
It's
gonna
a whole
be-
lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm excited though.
Yeah.
Like
so April gonna be turned up.
as stressful as it sounds, like it. Who really gets to say that they get
Yeah.
to like have friends to
Like
like
the
do
wedding.
crazy shit
Yeah.
like that with like.
Well, we proposed.
Like we're literally getting married together. Like
Yeah,
that's
we-
crazy.
We got married. We got married a week apart. We proposed like 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I proposed in January like 1st. He proposed like pretty
The
much
end
the end of January.
in
yeah.
end of January.
And what
Yeah.
was crazy was that wasn't planned.
That was not planned.
like it was not
Like
planned.
it was
Like,
not planned. It's just like things like that. It's like, and
Yeah.
that shows the kind of like, you can't fake certain things
Yeah.
because it's just like I remember when I called him because I wanted to like call everybody and ask him to be in my wedding. He just said, "Okay, I mean you're gonna be in mine." Like so, it's just like, okay, you're gonna be in
Surprise.
mine. I don't know, like I don't know why you're asking. Like, it's just things like that.
It'd
So
be like
you-
that.
and you get to go through the process together and like watch either like hey, this is how you're doing things. Like it's for like we've known each other like for a long time. We pretty much have similar tendencies. Y'all pretty much have similar tendencies. It's just like fighting about like, oh yeah, this is how they're gonna do theirs, so we got to be prepared for it. And same thing like vice versa for y'all. Like you're preparing for ours.
Right.
And it's all friends. Like we didn't through the process of even picking out the groomsmen, I didn't have to like really think about it.
Yeah.
It was all I just already knew. Like, okay, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Boom. Like that's it. It just that's how it just followed through.
Yeah.
Just that's because I don't like there was no second guesses on anybody that's gonna be part of it. Because if I'm gonna do anything like that, it always was gonna be like I've known these guys for like what 15
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long
years.
time.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Long time.
it was no
Yeah, and I think the best part for me is like this is something that like me and bros are kind of going through together. So I guess being there to see the changes in each other, like
Yeah.
seeing like how
Mm-hmm.
we're both evolving,
Yeah.
right? Like going into another step. So I think that's pretty cool. And, it's kind of like a thing like, it feels kind of good knowing that I'm not going into it by myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even if I did, you know what I mean, it wouldn't matter to me one way or another. But it's just kind of cool to kind of have somebody like a companion to kind of like go through that with. So
Yeah.
who
We
kind of
had a-
knows that we're on the same level.
Yeah, we had a 2-hour conversation. I remember because
Yeah.
nobody alive knew that I was proposing to this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody. I made sure like I did the whole process. Like it took me almost like 7 months to go through the process,
Get it
like
all
getting
together.
it
Yeah.
done together and things like that. And the only people I told were like I told my mom once I finished it. Was actually went through the process of like knowing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I told my mother, and I told a friend group of ours, Ebony, Freddie's Freddie's wife, and I showed her. Those only 2 people that knew, and like this is how life worked, right? And I think I was going to Florida. He called me, and we're talking about something completely different, and I was like, I was never planning on telling anybody.
Yeah.
And the conversation went in a way to where like, oh, you have to tell this man. That's like you about to get married.
Yeah.
Like you have to tell this man not that you're about to propose. And he said, bro, that's funny. Cause bro, I'm about to do the same thing.
Hey.
The twin tendencies,
That was
honestly,
crazy,
is
like-
a mess over here.
It's like
Whoa.
a conversation. Cause me and him we have the kind of friendship we don't spend like we don't spend time on the phone with each other. Like we don't
Yeah.
really like text a lot. We don't really like talk to each other on the phone. But like we more of a like face to face. Like
Yeah.
when we get together, we spend like a whole day together.
Right.
Yeah.
The kind of friends we are. But like that, since on that day, he just called me. It's just like when we're talking about something completely different, and next thing you know, we like from that we're talking about family, and he screwed out to like, hey, that's what I'm about to do. And that's what I'm about to do. Huh? It's
Bruh,
don't
like,
say.
that's why I tell people, like, bro, that is literally my twin, bro. Like,
That's nuts.
Bro, even last night with the twinning,
I know
yes,
they
Like, that
we were
was-
all wearing the same color scheme. Like,
we were like,
they showed
it
up
was
to the
so
house.
weird. Like,
Them two wearing dark shirts, green pants. Me and her wearing black leggings with cream top. Like, what is going on for real?
it's like, hello.
just chaotic business. Like, what is this?
And it's not
Yeah.
the first time either.
No,
Like,
Right.
No,
Yeah, we've
shit
done
like that
that.
happens all the time when we link and do stuff together. Like, just a mess.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
So, what do you feel like y'all have learned about your partner through this whole process? Like, ever since you got engaged to now, like anything new that has come up or things that you've learned about each other through this whole wedding planning?
Well, me and
Thingamajig.
Romance were like long distance
Mm-hmm.
for like, I want to say like 3 years. We were like long distance because I was living in North Carolina. He was living South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he proposed, and I was like, "Ugh," you know, like what?
What now?
What do I do? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I don't know, like in my family, I'm like pretty much the first one to get married, but without like having a kid involved. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So
yeah.
it's like for my family household, they're like, well,
Get pregnant.
Yeah.
they're like, no, they were like, when are we having grandkids? I was
Yeah.
like, hello, I just got proposed
Give
to
me a
like
second.
2
What are you
weeks
talking
ago.
about?
Give me a
What do you
minute.
mean? And so yeah, I will say like living with him now, like, and even now, like I'm not even fully living with him, like maybe once a day or not, yeah, once a week. Like every Wednesdays, I go back to my house, and then I come back to his house Thursday, and then I'm pretty much all over the place. And then as far as like traveling for like my events and stuff like that, I will say like it's a little different, like being long distance and then being more with each other now because we're really learning
Yeah.
like patience, like actually like money wise, our roles like in household. Like I don't really cook, so but I will clean.
Hey.
So I think just like learning like how to live with each other, I think is like a huge part in like our like since we got engaged.
Yeah.
I think to me, it's the same thing because, because we've been long distance for so long, as far as like we only see each other like on the weekends kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was so comfortable with that because, character wise, that's, I like space. So, and I was so comfortable with it till now you have somebody like, okay, you're here now all
Yeah.
the time. Oh, okay.
Hey, you.
Yeah. Okay. So, like adapting to like things like that. Now you have to. Now it's no longer just speaking about things like through text message over the phone. Now you're like having conversation like face to face. So that puts like different kind of like things. You have to watch out. Like you can't just text something now. So you have to actually articulate what you're trying to say.
Right.
And you have to make sure what you're trying to say because now you're getting feedback. Like over the phone, you don't really get no feedback unless they type it a certain way.
Right.
But when you say something face to face, I can see your reaction,
Right.
your facial expression, body expression. So now I'm getting like real time feedback. So you have to learn, like she said, like like now we have to express ourselves to each other differently. We have to find out each other like other needs as far as like who likes to be cuddled with or who does it like
Right.
when you
Right.
get off work, what are your tendencies like
Right.
who likes to the cleaning, who likes to make sure that the other eat and things like that. So and I'm glad it it happened that way for us because we got to I did the long distance thing.
Yeah.
So now we're just adapting to because now later on when we finish getting married, it's just gonna we always gonna be together.
Right.
So because after that there's not really gonna be I'm gonna be at my parents' house once a week and
Right.
things like that. So you gotta learn how to adapt to that. So
Yeah.
that process is kind of like it can be challenging. It is challenging.
Yeah.
But that is part of it. That is part
Right.
of the
Yeah.
relationship or getting married, anything like that.
Yeah, that's what it's for. That's why I know like people consider like a year-long engagement like a long engagement, but like to me, I'm like, this is a good trial period to like, yes, we need time to plan, but this is also time that we're like spending with each other and
Right.
learning new things about each other. Like this is a new season and things change and people change and stuff like that. So I like the time that we've had between
Yep.
last January and April and May when
Yeah.
we get married, because like it's good to like see each other in this little trial time before marriage
Right.
comes into play. So I don't know. What do you feel like you've learned about me during this process, or if anything's changed that you've seen or learned about?
Honestly, nothing that I don't think I hadn't seen before from you. I think, well, I've actually been able to see like you step into like what you're good at,
Yeah.
you know, which is like
Planning.
things. Like honestly, yeah. So
Yeah.
to see you kind of like step into that and then like kind of know what you're doing and what you want to do, and like you have a vision and how you want your vision to come out, like it's impressive. Like
Oh, thanks.
I think that's a great characteristic to have, because I don't have that. Like
Yeah.
I'm just very much the
You're
day
good.
of,
You're
like,
good
oh,
supportive
okay.
role though.
Yeah,
I'll give
like-
that to you.
So I'll say like you, like yeah, you be hurting that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't.
But nah, it's just been it's been great to be like to see you like grow,
Yeah.
like to be able to witness it in real time.
I could say the same like about you, only because like during this trial period, just like you said, like we live with each other. We've been living with each other for like a few years now. So nothing like physical wise has changed or
Right.
like distance or anything, but like I can see how your wheels are turning, like preparing to step into marriage and like what being a husband is and stuff like that. Like just based on, oh, not the camera dying. Dang.
I got another battery. I do.
We can, okay, I'll finish my thought and then we can click it real quick and put in a new battery. But I can just tell that you are like preparing for this, and you know that there's a certain role that you're trying to step into just based on like the conversations that we're having, the questions that you're asking. Like I can tell that you are changing and like wheels are turning up there, and like
Yeah.
you know that this is like a bigger, better season for us, and you're trying to like prep to be ready for that, which is nice. So
That's good.
yeah. Well, I guess we shall change the battery. Please hold. Okay, we're back. So sorry
Welcome
about that. Y'all know, the snackers know, our camera
Yeah.
just
It's
be
infamous for dying in
Oh, it happens?
terrible
the
times.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Battery
Thought it was
could be
just us.
fully charged. There's something going on with it. Honestly, we taking it back to Best Buy. I'm done.
With all them payments we done made.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
we done paid it
It's
off,
paid
too?
off. Yeah. She going right back.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh,
back to
man.
what we were chatting about before. So what are some expectations that you guys have for each other stepping into this new chapter/season of your life that is called marriage?
I don't think I necessarily have an expectation. I more so have like goals for like myself, as far as like trying to figure out where I really want to be in life, like a year after we get married. I don't really like. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, as far as expectations, the only expectation I have is just like the growth. Like once we get married, I don't know. Maybe I'm using that as a motivation. I mean, a motivational, factor for me. But it's just like I expect us to grow. Like I expect from now, like there's no more. Okay, let's just go here and spend this money on that. Because
Yeah.
we tend to do that a lot as far as just like, okay, let's just go here because we can, or let's just go, just start. I want us to start investing like in us, like
Yes.
when I say us, like ourselves and each other.
Yeah.
And if we plan on having kids one day and having this and that, like I don't I don't want to just be married just to be married, okay, because we think it's cool or anything like that.
Right.
So I want us to be married and actually doing stuff with purpose, like everything with purpose, making sure that, okay, now we got to really talk about finances, not just trying to save a couple $100 so we can go spend it somewhere. Actually, we got to, properly mapped out our future. It's sort of step by step, like, okay, what about a year from now? Okay, what about 3 years from now? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like 40 years. So this is really a forever thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we have to plan for the forever part of it. So that's my goal. I'm very, like, when it comes to like planning, and that's something I'm learning about also, right? When I plan something for the both of us.
Yeah.
And I never even told her about it, but I planned it.
Right.
So now I'm expecting her to understand my plan when I never even, because that's one thing that came up on our last premarital counseling session. And it's just like, okay, I was planning all these things in my head, and I'm telling her, because me thinking I'm planning it and I'm telling you, okay, this is what I want to do, but I never once asked her, like, oh, how do you really feel about that?
Right.
Because of her character of like how supportive she is, she's gonna just kind of follow with it because she just want to support whatever I'm doing or saying. But like I had to find out, later on that no, like, yeah, I understand what you want to do, but for this reason and that reason, I think that plan doesn't work for me well enough. So maybe we should plan it together.
Yeah.
So that's like, then I had to realize, okay, you know what? I can't just plan things for us without running it by you. So, as far as expectation, I'm just expecting us to like be, learn more about each other. That's gonna just come with it. That's just part of life.
Right.
You're just gonna learn more about each other.
Yep.
But my only expectation is to grow. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I feel like if we're not doing that, then there's, just might as well stay at my mama's house.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I love the premarital counseling thing, and once we start, and we will in a couple weeks, but like, I'm excited to see what we actually talk about and things that we learn about each other there, because you can think you know your partner to a T, and you get a third party in there that has no bias to either of you, just
Right.
asking questions and seeing how the other person opens up. You're like, oh shit, I didn't know you felt that way about that. Hold on.
Yeah.
So I love that, because these are important conversations to have, even if it's something as small as like planning. That is something that snowballs into other things that could become a problem
It
like
does.
down the line. So that's so good that like these are the types of conversations, like I recommend it to anybody. Like those are the types of conversations you have to be having before
Because
you move into that. Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't know the conversation you're supposed to be having.
Exactly.
So you don't know you're supposed to be having this kind of conversation.
Yep.
I didn't know I was supposed to have that conversation with her, but like
Yeah.
my plans about like the kind of housing I wanted to get first.
Yeah.
Like it just, I thought that was, because I've been speaking about it for so long. I thought, okay, that's done.
That's how it is.
That's how
how
it
it's
is.
gonna be. Yeah.
Then you realize, oh, that something happened. Like you just said, something happened. Then now all the other stuff are just like falling into it. You're like, oh, that's the reason. So I'm really, really glad that I got out my skin to do it.
Yeah.
And if we were lucky enough to find people that like they make it in a way that they're putting God into it, which is a
Yes.
beautiful thing for us, because like even. We ain't got time for that, because even though we got
got
like
time, we got
even like the whole process of like me proposing, the way I wanted to do it, it's such a like.
Because we've been with them like before premarital counseling. Cause
That's good.
So we've had like meetings talking about life.
Yeah, it's such like a God thing. Like I found out I wanted to propose to her while I was in church.
Yeah.
I found out like the reason I got in church, because somebody approached me, somebody that would have never approached me before in their life, because I have certain characteristics that unfortunately.
Not unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Then he said, so he wasn't supposed to be there. He doesn't even go play. It's a whole backstory. I don't even know if we want to get into, but like God was part of the whole process.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to find the same people that not only that's part of their job, that's what they do, and they're the one that guide us to like go to church and get
Yeah.
married and things like that, and we can open up to them, and the fact that we can freely speak with them,
Yes.
like we can actually let ourselves like, okay, I wanted to have this conversation with you, but I was scared on how you're gonna react.
Yep.
And they're there, so now I feel more comfortable for us to have this conversation. It's really like a beautiful godly thing.
Yeah. And it makes you more confident to have those types of conversations when it is just you two alone, because, the mediator definitely helps, but you feel more confident, like just communicating with your partner to where like you can take those things that you're learning about each other and like apply it outside of that room and into your marriage and stuff like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's lit.
I love that.
Awesome.
Awesome. What about you, expectation wise, going into marriage? Anything for yourself? Anything for me?
Well, just being the type of guy I am, I don't really like to go with any type of expectations. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess to be 100% honest, I think there's a level of toughness that we have to develop.
Yeah.
I think because though yes, this is like an exciting time or whatever, like we have to understand that there is years and times after that day too that we have to look forward to. So
Yep.
it's gonna be a lot of trying times just because that's just the
part
way
of it.
life is.
Yep.
So I think a level of toughness, emotionally, I think we're gonna have to have.
Yeah.
After that, probably, I guess the structure or the parenting type, like what that's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Like what type of parents we want to be, what type of principles do we want to instill in our children, like stuff like that. So
Yep.
That's awesome.
yeah, to make sure that we're raising outstanding citizens.
Awesome children.
Gold star.
Yeah.
Beautiful kids.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
those two things are pretty important, and also our the bond that we have too. Like I don't want that to diminish.
Same.
Yeah.
Because of all the like outside stuff. Because
Yeah.
we got issues here and problems here, and
Yeah.
You'll support
a lot
like
of
each other do
responsibility.
stuff
Yeah.
emotionally, physically,
Yeah.
and things like that, and that creates like a bond that's like it's sometimes been weird to explain to people, because I think we were having a conversation when I asked you like when did you find out like you were in love with her, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that was your person. You're like, I was sick and this girl drove like 2 hours to bring me like orange juice.
Orange juice.
And, I do
And
it
that
again.
sounds like almost like, oh, that's, but it's just no, it's just that simple thing right there.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like, so somebody take their time out of the day to drive, and funny enough, she fell in love with me because I give her orange juice. I'm not
Twins
No,
again.
I'm not joking.
No, it's so serious.
I'm not joking.
I was literally asking for like apple juice, orange juice the whole night, and no one was listening to me. And then he just popped up out of nowhere. God sent. And I was
sent.
like, he was like, do you want some of this juice? I was just staring, and I was like, listen.
I
no.
bought
The
2
good
of
kind.
them, and she
No-
was there, and
no
I was like,
Pope.
oh, you want some oranges?
And I
And-
just looked at him
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
I sure do.
He's the one.
What else? What else come with
Which
it?
is crazy.
And then the ray of sunshine behind him, a little.
What's the big name? See, this is not
And
a
he was shirtless.
this is not a drill, folks.
This is, I'm telling you. Like when he
can't make
told me
this
that
up.
in the car, like I couldn't say anything because I'm like, nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because that's the same thing. He's just like,
Yeah.
orange juice? Really? Orange juice?
Shout out OJ.
And
Shout out
you
OJ.
find out.
I will say the coolest thing about this life is finding that you have soul ties with people. bro.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
Like that.
No,
Like, that's
seriously.
it'd be funny, bro. That's
Man, yeah.
because, bro, what? Even,
Yeah,
like,
he said orange juice.
It was.
That's why
orange
he-
who
juice.
would have known? Like,
Yeah, I kept asking him. I was like, "What do you mean? Like, just because the fact that she gave you oranges?" Like, yeah, because she drove like And I'm thinking like, yo, that's my whole backstory with this woman right here. So
It all started with orange
We
juice.
all started
Orange
with
juice.
orange juice.
Yeah.
So, Minute Maid sponsor us,
Hey,
like, go ahead,
listen,
send them the sponsorship, man. Let them get
You got
sponsored.
a double love story here.
Yeah. Come on now.
2 for 5, man. 2 for
Yeah,
5.
it's crazy.
Bro, that would have been so crazy if I would have had orange
It's
juice.
just-
Nuts. Would have been
That'd
I
nuts.
would have
nuts.
been crying.
Tears all up and down the podcast.
Spooked.
See that? Orange juice. Not just good for vitamin C,
Yeah.
but bringing lives together.
Yeah.
Good for
Love
love.
story.
It's good for love.
And
yeah.
vitamin D.
And vitamin D, of course.
But like, if y'all don't mind, let me ask y'all a question.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what was you guys' initial thought, like when you'll find out, like, oh, like I propose or they're getting married? I know like we had this conversation before, but I would love to hear like because I don't know if he told you the day I told him or if you waited for you to find out yourself. So, but
I found out when she posted
when
the
you
video.
posted it, yeah.
I texted her. I said, "Bitch, what?" And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it said. Was bitch what?
No, I sent you the picture.
Oh yes,
I sent you
yes.
a picture because I was still shaking.
I was shook, honestly, but I can't say that it didn't make sense because it does. So, I mean, I wasn't surprised. Like, I know you two love each other. So I was really excited, honestly. And I know, like, because at that point, you two weren't living together, right? So, like, all the exciting things that were to come, like, I just knew that's what was going to start falling in place
Yeah.
now that this, like, one thing has happened. So, I don't know. I was just really excited for you guys. So, what about you? I feel like you knew it just made sense to happen to
Yeah,
you.
no, like I knew it happened. But in the fashion that it happened in.
Hey yo.
Can we give a little backstory on the proposal
In Mexico, like
just so they can have
That's
like a visual
crazy.
of what it was?
You want to tell your version? Or you want
Because
to
that
tell
was
my
fine.
version?
You can go.
I go first. So, go back to like the whole church thing and how I found out, like, I felt like I was spoken to like propose to her.
Yeah.
And that day didn't just happen to me. It happened to somebody else. That they saw her and like weirdly enough, like they started. That person is a very, very religious person. And the first time they actually met her, it was like a kind of weird thing because like he started crying. Like, because he was like, why are you telling me to tell him to propose to her or marry her? And at the same time, for some reason, we were sitting next to each other. I got up to go use the bathroom. When I came back, I didn't want to sit next to her. I sat in the back. And she got up because we were about to pray. And I'm just like staring at her. And I'm like, and the only thing I said, I was like, oh, I have to propose to this girl.
Yeah, it
Well,
came
like,
over
weirdly
you.
enough, like I was just
Yeah.
like, and it's just things like that. Then so I started planning it, and I can be very like picky with stuff. So I had like to find a it took me like these poor people, like
Oh.
these poor folks. Because I wanted a custom ring, and I wanted to be as close to a perfect of a like ring or diamond ring that it could be to match like her, like
Yeah.
all my feelings for her.
Yeah.
So like I went through like different shapes. Then I settled on the one that she has now. I went to like the band and all things like that, and it took me like I would say like 7 months. Like, cause I'm not the type of person that can walk in somewhere and buy something for something like, especially like that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just walk into a store and buy a ring like that somebody had right there.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right to me. So I wanted to go through the whole process of like, I learned so much about diamond during that time. That's unnecessary.
Man's a connoisseur now.
Yeah, that's unnecessary knowledge that I have that I'll never use again in my life. So it's just like
Yeah.
the clarity, the color. It's got to be D. It's got to be like, okay, learn about that. Then I didn't want it to be like, oh, that's just me. Like there's nothing wrong with like people doing their way, but to me, I didn't want to just like, hey, pop up somewhere and bring her friends and like propose. I wanted to be as outlandish as I could. So I knew. So we already
Makes
had
sense.
yeah. Because if you know me, I can't be outlandish. So we already had a Mexico trip booked for the next year because that's the whole thing. I like to take her out of the country for her birthday and things like that. So I was like, okay, if I do it, it's gotta be a surprise because because we've been like on vacation together for so many times. Then I found out like all of her vacations we've been to, she thought I was gonna propose to her.
Yo.
So every vacation we've been to, she thinks I'm gonna propose.
Yeah.
But me being clueless, so she's like, so she be getting, cause I don't take pictures on my phone. I like to take like physical pictures.
Yeah.
And so I always set up wherever we go. I set up like for people to take pictures of us. So we had went to Vegas and we were having dinner and
The Eiffel Tower.
at the Eiffel Tower in Vegas, and she thought she was gonna propose because like obviously that's like view,
Yes,
scenery.
nice.
You think,
Everybody looks nice,
Everybody, you
dressed,
think.
yeah.
Me, I just want to go for the food.
Stop. Stop it
Listen,
right
he's
now.
about to out me right now.
Like I just want to go for. So she's dressing like she got her dress on, like I like tie showing and all that stuff. I think
I was
okay, you do it.
available, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing too much because I just got a shirt and pants on.
Please.
But like, cool.
She was ready.
Yeah, right. So a lady came by, wanted to take a picture. I can see how she can think, why is this random lady all of a sudden coming by, wanting to take a picture with us, right? No, that's not it. So it was supposed to be only 2 pictures. So we took 2 pictures. Me, I was like, okay, let's take another one. She's like,
Like,
that's what
this is
she's
it.
telling me. She's like, oh my God, he's about to propose. I just wanted a kiss. So,
Bro, he held my hand. No, he made me face him.
Oh
Held my
my
hand.
God.
And
Hey,
I'm
yo.
expecting him to go
Go
down
down
on
one
one knee.
knee.
What does he do? He gives me a kiss, which, love that. But also, why are you
What?
still up here? Why are you not down there?
Yeah.
And then she just said, click. And she was like, okay, we're done. And I just looked at her.
Yes, and
Flabbergasted.
so am I.
No.
I'm done.
you know how like,
Flabbergasted.
you know, when you look back into things, it makes sense. Because then it kind of got a little like sad. But I didn't realize that, okay, funny enough, the next day we're going to the Grand Canyon. We took a helicopter ride to the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
Like fancy stuff, right? If you're a girl, oh yeah, ain't no way they're going to propose to me there.
Bro, it was a picnic on top of the Grand Canyon
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bro.
friggin' wine.
The crazy thing about this story is she has the most interesting POV. Like,
Right.
her point of view is probably the most interesting out of all.
Right.
Yo, I wore
Me?
heels.
Yeah, because I'm like, why are you wearing heels? We're about to go walk like on the Grand
That's
Canyon.
nuts.
Me again, t-shirt, pants,
Yeah.
sneaker. I'm a sneakerhead, like the sneakers. All right, cool. Let's
That's
go.
nuts.
Like we done. Let's go back. Okay. A couple months after that, we went to Jamaica. Same thing. I set up a picture thing. Funny enough, like the picture, it's like the place we have to go. Like they sell rings there. So like she's probably thinking, oh, that's why he got the ring. That's why he set it up there.
Yeah.
That's why they're showing us pictures of people that got married here. Nah, I just wanted some cool pictures.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I have pictures to just
That's
prove
like one of some
everything.
cool pictures.
I just wanted some
That is
cool
Justice
pictures.
for vacation, Jessica.
Then-
because
then we
each
did another-
time.
Then we did another one-on-one dinner like on the beach by herself with with a server, like with wine and stuff like that, just one-on-one. She thought she was gonna propose to again.
Oh
It
my
didn't happen.
God.
So I didn't know that till she was telling that story, and I'm like, man, I'm dying laughing.
He was crying laughing.
Cause I'm like, boy, you thought you were gonna get married? Boy. I was like,
She
you
did.
crazy.
She did.
Yo.
I was holding back my tears from reliving that.
Aw.
So then it came to my head. I was like, okay. And I told her, I was like, oh, I'll never propose to you in a vacation because like you're gonna expect it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what I'm gonna use.
Yep.
I'm a salesman, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna manipulate.
you gotta
that.
sell
That's
it.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just gonna
it.
manipulate it. So for like months, I kept telling her like, when I asked this, I was like, I will never propose to you So what I did, and again, sorry to those folks at the resort. I'm planning it because I want it to be a certain way. So I wanted like a special place at the beach. I wanted to say like,
Marry me.
marry me and like rose petals, flowers, people videotaping. I was gonna do like, because I was trying to hire an outside company to come to the place where we're staying at to
Yeah.
come do all that stuff. And we got to the resort and we walk in, like looking at the place, trying to see, and I passed the place in my head. She doesn't know where it is. She's like, oh, this is pretty. And in my head, I'm looking at the place that we're supposed to get the thing set up for me to propose to her. Oh, and I'm pissed
Why?
because it's not living to my expectations.
I'm dead.
And I'm telling you, so you have to realize it's been like those people don't speak English. They're Mexicans because we went to Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're doing WhatsApp. We're translating. For months on hand. Like I'm
Yeah.
planning this. Hey,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
how. Hey, Bro, you
Hot.
know,
Yeah.
like,
Hot.
I'm,
38.
but boy. So when I got there and we walking, like the fact that I just stumbled upon it like that, to me the fact that it's so accessible, like I was like, oh, this is, and she's like loving it, and I'm like, oh no. And we imagine like I'm doing it like 2 days later, so
Right.
people they already know they're coming. They already telling me. Oh, I was like, nah, I don't want that. They're like, what? I was like, nah, I don't, bro. This is whack. I don't want to do that. Like, so, it's been, trying to tell me like, so because of all that, right? So now we have to switch. So now I have to find something. And me being a very impatient person, I have a temper sometimes. So now like they're trying to make it right by me.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving them leadway. And again, we all in the same room. So when they come into me trying to speak to me, she's there. So they can't really be like, hey, the wedding planning?
Yeah.
Like, so, and with us, the way our phone work, like, because I can just leave my phone anywhere, you can just grab it and stuff like that. So now I have to kind of hide and text that
Right.
person.
Right.
And at the same time trying to delete the messages. So if she goes to my phone, she don't see I'm about to propose to her.
Yeah.
But, fun, again, go back to the God thing. So we went to like another place. They were doing like
It's like a theater
Yeah,
show.
it's like a Coliseum thing. Like they're doing like a history about Mexico, like the different part of Mexico and the different cultures, the history of Mexico. And I was in there, and we just happened to stumble upon it.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the show. Then I realized like, oh, you can book like seats to where like you're sitting like in the middle of it, and they do the whole show around you.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're serving you food and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they have multiple dishes and stuff like that. I was like, that's us.
Yeah.
Like that's our thing, like food and stuff like that. It's like that's our
Right.
thing. So I try to book it, telling me no, like they don't have space. You don't tell me no. But you don't tell me no. Like he's just like, nah, it's not happening. So poor guys, man, and shout out to them. They did everything they could to get me like a spot because I couldn't no longer communicate with them
Right.
because everywhere I go, we're together. And when they're trying to come speak to me about it, she's there. So
Right.
it was a hunt. So we, long story short, we got the place. It was in the Coliseum, and the way like I planned it with the chef. I went ahead and give them the ring. And what was gonna happen is like while the show's happening, and when they get to where her family's from, like part of it because it's like United States, right? Like they have different states. The same
Right.
thing with Mexico. So when they get to the specific part where her families are from, like that's when they're gonna like make her stand up and like in front of everybody, and they're gonna give me the ring so I can propose to her. So I think I proposed to her like in front of like a couple thousand of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's nuts.
yeah.
That's so awesome.
But the funny thing is we couldn't catch it on camera because like somebody's butt was in the way.
Oh,
No,
man.
The waiter.
The waiter's butt
Come
was
on.
was
No,
in the
because I was on live the whole time.
Yeah. She
Come on,
thinking-
waiter, move your butt, man.
Right.
Move your butt, yo.
Dang.
She's thinking it's just another dinner.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
I skipped that part. Like I made her because her birthday is the 2nd, and I proposed January 1st because I wanted to like the beginning of the year. That's when I wanted to be proposing to her. So
Right.
She had a specific dress she wanted to wear for her birthday. I made her switch it to January 1st.
Yeah.
She's like, that's my birthday dress. I was like, no, like you have to wear this dress.
Yeah.
And she wasn't too happy about that. And yeah, then she found out, oh, that's why he wanted me to wear the dress.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it.
That's nuts. That's what's up, though.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
good. I know you make the jokes about like, oh, we're picky or it's like too much, but I don't know. To me, like the attention to detail and the time that you're putting into all of that, like shows how much you actually like love and care about
Yeah.
her. Like people can half-ass proposals
Yeah.
all
Right.
day, make them. You didn't plan anything. You just spur of the moment, which sometimes like. Okay, if
That's
that
what-
works for
yeah,
you and
yeah.
your relationship, that's
It
great.
depends
But
on your
like,
relationship.
yeah, it really does. So I just like I appreciate like the time and effort that you put into it because you wanted it to be special and it was special. So that's great that y'all got to do that. So sweet.
That's lit.
I love it. Do you have any questions you want to ask? I feel like I've been.
Well, how was
Wit-
the
wit
process
driving.
for you? Like as far as like, because Ramons went down like his engagement process. So what was your engagement process like? Because I didn't know like that until like an hour before.
Yeah.
So
So, me, Greg, and Nate, our birthdays are relatively like close.
Close.
So Greg's is January 18th, mine is January 22nd, and then Nate's is February 2nd. So, like, we had kind of like played around with the idea before, but like, I think once before we had kind of like celebrated our birthdays all at once. We just kind of thought it was a good idea. So I had thought about it, and I was just like, bro, like, because I think I ended up asking Greg, like, what was he doing for his birthday? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? And he was like, I mean, nothing too crazy or whatever. Like, Nate pretty much the same thing, and like me, like, usually on my birthday, like, me and her travel somewhere. Like, we've been to, like, Colorado. We've been to California. Like, we've been to a few places. So I was like, oh, well, let's just do Asheville, right? I feel like that's close enough where I think that's a good enough excuse, basically, to where I can get people to, like, all my friends and her friends and stuff to, like, show up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, let's just, like, do, like, a big birthday celebration for, like, me, Nate, and Greg or whatever, which is my alibi. And, like, we had already had that conversation, like, in December, I think. Like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like, I literally had got off work to go get the ring. Yeah. And I, like, called him on the way to the mall. Like, go pick it up.
It was literally walking to the mall.
Yeah. And so
I'm about to do it.
Yeah. I'm about to get it. So, yeah, so I was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm just finna get all the homies, like, get all the girlfriends and the wives or whatever. Like, get them to come, like, and this is what I'm gonna do. So, Nate had pretty much knew what was up. Like, Greg knew. I told him he knew it, whatever. And so all the boys knew. Next, it was just to execute it. Yeah. So once everybody ended up showing up, like,
that's when it worked.
Then that Saturday, I think, like, I had went. What was it, like, Sunday? Was it? I think we were in
Saturday.
Like a weekend, Saturday, Sunday situation. I had the camera set up because the Airbnb that we had was like a really nice view.
It was
Like,
beautiful.
it was just like mountains, and it was dope. So set the camera up. You played a very important part in this because Jessica had her doing TikToks in the front. So while she's doing that, we're in the back, like, on the balcony, like, setting up, putting the camera in, like, making sure people are in place. Alicia came through with the rose petals, like, literally last minute. This was stuff that, like, literally last minute stuff. So, when she came out, she seen the rose petals and was like, that's like, if you seen the video on our Instagram, she's like, what is this? What's going on?
Awkward.
And so, I was standing there, and then, ta-da. Yeah. So, it wasn't what I really wanted to do at first. Yeah. Because, like him, like,
it was supposed to be a prank.
It was supposed to be a prank. Yeah. It was supposed to be very chaotic.
It was supposed to be like April 1st.
Seriously, like, I was. So I was
so glad that's not what you went with.
Like, no, I literally have to walk you through this grand scheme. Like, it would have been the funniest thing ever.
Oh, God.
So the original proposal was supposed to be, like, on April Fool's Day. Yeah. Right? So and so what I was and that's just like, if you know me, like, you just kind of know.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
So I was gonna propose to you because I knew, like,
Not April 1st.
I just like just the thought process that went into it. Like, I thought it was genius. So
this is our thinking, guys.
So I literally was like, okay, I want to propose to her like April 1st, and people were telling me, like, don't do that. That's not funny. Like,
yes, that's good advice.
You didn't let me finish. Wait till I tell you, like, what this really is supposed to be. So, like, literally, we were gonna go to, like, the mall or something. Like, I was gonna take her to the mall. Like, oh, I want to go to the mall at the shop or something, or the outlets, right? Yeah. The premium outlets. So we were gonna go, and I was gonna tell, like, Cicely and Zach, like, them two, Ramon, like, just like some of my friends, like, and then, like, we were like, I was gonna tell them to kind of, like, just go in stores that I knew that I was gonna tell her, like, oh, well, let's go in here, like, Vans or something. And then you run into Cicely and Zach, and you be like, oh my God, like, y'all are what are you doing?
I remember you
and
saying
then we go to, like, Nike or something, and then y'all two are in there. We're like, oh my God, like, we're just seeing all our friends today.
What's going on?
I would have thought that was the craziest
And because
thing.
I know, like, how she is, like, her, like, the way she thinks,
she's brainstorm.
like, this means something. Like, all our friends are here. And so to get her to psych out and be like, this is just weird. Like, how all our friends are here. Like, this means something. Like, what does that mean? Like, and then literally, like, They like walk into the food court,
Oh, no.
and then you see somebody else. It's just like
Yeah, and they didn't
we
leave
ought to
that.
we ought, like since everybody's here, like we all just like should just
Hang
like go
out.
to the crib and have like game night or something,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my god.
And so we get to the crib, like, and I was gonna propose, like, with all of our friends there,
Yeah.
like, while we playing Uno or some dumb shit.
Reverse scores.
Reverse.
I like the proposal that you had.
Yeah, me too.
Oh no, it was chaotic.
No,
bro.
Me too.
That
When
would've
he,
been
when
so
he told
funny.
me, but like it's again, it was a brand. Like I
Yeah.
was all up for it.
It was so funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like, cause I knew you would try to like piece things together.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait a minute,
what
what's
does this
going on?
mean? We're seeing all our friends. Like,
I will say,
what's the
I will-
coincidence? Like,
I will say, like, I didn't really have any expectations of what the proposal was going to be. I did like that our friends were there, though. And I think it just
Yeah.
depends, like, on the couple. Like, I did like being able to, like, go out and celebrate with them after that and, like, them being there. Because all those people are important to me, too.
right.
So, I mean, would I have liked, like Cicely and Meech and them to be there? Like, of course, because, like, those are my girls. But, like, at the same time, like, it was still special. And it felt like us because we were, like, in the mountains. Like,
Yeah.
that's just
That's you
us.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
it
you
didn't
guys.
feel off-brand
Yeah.
to me. So, that was, like, it was special. So,
Exactly what I was going for.
yeah.
Like, I didn't, because I had to have an alibi, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
the guys, we're celebrating our birthday
yeah.
in Asheville.
It worked.
And then, haha, will you marry me?
So
You
right-
gotta say yes. Like,
Oh, damn. Ah, okay, yes.
ambush, ambush, ambush.
Alrighty, so we are coming up on time. It's probably with the other recording been about like a little over an hour. So we can wind it down. Does anybody have any advice for the snackers or any last words you want to give the snackers about engagement, marriage, anything like that?
I'll go first, but like if getting married is not something you just do because your friends are doing it, or so your parents told you have to get married, or just because you've been in a relationship with that person for so long you have to do it. Like you have
Right.
to realize me and her, we've been together for 6-something years prior to me even, and that's not something that was ever part of my thinking.
Right.
So really, just telling you the backstory of like how so many times she thought I was gonna propose, and that was not even the thing I was thinking about.
Cross your mind, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought we were just having a good time because I was just okay with us, having those good times together. But once you figure out, like you'll know, because there's difference between like you like liking somebody a lot, or you loving somebody and you being in love with somebody.
Yeah.
So once you find out you're in love with that person, if that's something that y'all want to do, is that something that's like, you have to understand being married is not just the day of the wedding.
Yep.
There's more. So you'll have to plan for that. It's just planning and like communication. Like it's communication. You hear that a lot, right? When you ask, because after I proposed or before I proposed, I started asking like older people that were married for a long time, like random people I would have conversation with. Like, yeah, like compromise and communication is the two things that always comes with it.
Yep.
And just the process of like, the wedding, you realize, oh, that's going to be part of our life.
Yep.
Because I don't want to say you're never going to find a perfect person right away. Like nobody's going to be perfect for you for you the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
There's no, because they're perfect now. What about 5 years from now when some things change? What about 10 years from now? What about whatever? So like perfect is we working through stuff together for the rest of our life. That's perfect.
Yep.
That's the only time it's going to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect, because you're always going to work on stuff.
Yep.
I
Right.
might never stop being a dickhead. It's just not just something she might have to deal with for the rest of her life. Me being a dick.
But he is my person. So.
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
when you find that person, and whatever, I mean, I'm getting to it, like I'm very like religious now. Like my relationship with God's getting stronger by the day and stuff like that. So when you find that person, ask, speak with God, man. Like pray. That's the easiest thing you can do. You talk to yourself all day anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's the same thing you're doing.
Yep.
Right.
It's just like you just get a response that you probably not expecting, but you'll get a response.
Yep.
Right.
So just, God first, and make sure that you know what you're doing. Have that conversation with yourself and with that person, and see what kind of relationship y'all want to have. Because then stop comparing yourself to people, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. Oh, I kind of like did that a little bit as far as like, but then you realize that, oh, this is our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can love other people's relationship, but that doesn't mean that has to be yours. So just work on yours. Just work on yourself and yours, and that's it. Y'all be good.
Yeah.
I think as far as advice, Romance did hit all the points. So, piggybacking on like years and stuff, like 10 years, 5 years, I feel like after marriage, still continue to date your person.
Yep.
Like never
Yep.
forget to love like your person. Like still take them out on dates. I feel like little personal moments like that.
The
it
stuff that
just-
got you there.
Yeah.
Keep doing the same stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
keep doing
I
what
agree.
you're doing and keep growing and keep loving.
Yep. Good. I guess mine could just be kind of piggybacking off of the communication. Like, communication is key. Years and years and years after you're married, like, just like I was saying earlier, like, people change, life changes, things come up. So just making sure that you are constantly like checking in with your partner and like talking about the things that are going on and things that are maybe bothering you, and just making sure that you're always like, even if you're not on the same page with your partner about something, like still communicating that so there is some sort of like common ground between you and your partner. But yeah, and prioritizing each other. I like the dating thing because that is important. The things that got you into your relationship, like, don't ever stop doing those things because your partner will notice, and it's not the route you want to
Yeah.
you want to end up on. So
A great man once said, "You just gotta keep living, man."
L-I-V-I-N.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that's your advice
Yeah,
for real?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep living.
Last thing, shout out to y'all. You know, we appreciate y'all inviting us. You know, I know this is like long overdue. We thought about it, and with our schedules, it's like it couldn't happen.
Nuts,
but
yeah.
you know, shout out to y'all. Love y'all.
Love you too.
You know,
Yeah,
love
love
you
you
guys'
too, bro.
relationship.
2 gold
I
stars.
talk to you all the time when I tell you, bro. I look up to you. You know, it's just like, yeah, it's, you know, the more I'm like growing, I'm realizing like I'm very fortunate to have like the kind of people that I have around
Yeah.
me. As far as
sure.
friends, like you, like that, like Nate, Chris, Giovanni, Chino, Eric, Thomas, all them boys. Like it's just like, I appreciate y'all boys, man, for real. And I appreciate the people that y'all have around you as far as like partners, like
Yeah.
from you, Anita, Alicia, like Buff Nita, like
Buff Netta, shout out Buff Netta, man.
you know, what's Eric's girl?
Christina?
Christina. Yeah, all them, like, I feel like people are making the right choice out here sometimes, and I appreciate and love all y'all, man. I just wanted to let y'all know that.
Well,
You know, if anything happened to me tomorrow, just to let you know, bro. I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and stuff like that. So
Love you
yeah,
too.
Love you too, bro.
yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen tomorrow. You live forever, so.
There you go.
Okay.
Immortal. Well, I can't top that. So we're going to close it down on that. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for joining. Oh, is there anything you want to plug? Like, can they follow you anywhere? Anything you want to, you know,
Oh yeah, we're not
shameless
as
plug?
cool as them. We don't have no podcast or nothing like that. We just watch TV all day. So
That one died too.
Dang.
Yep.
Perfect time.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for watching. If you are on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed. If you liked anything, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, all that good stuff. If you are listening via podcast, remember on Spotify, hit the follow button to keep up with us. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, hit the plus button in the top right, all that good stuff. And make sure you're following the pod page at LNS the pod.
Go do that.
Woo! All right. Love y'all. See y'all next Wednesday.
Later, y'all.